Okay, now keeping in mind we have our 1/2 inch seam allowance and we've got our right sides together for our pinned pieces. We are going to want to understand that there's a little bit of a difference here. Because of my seam allowance, I've allowed 1/2 inch of this side of the fabric to move up a little bit. All you have to do is figure out where that 1/2 inch is and line them up. If you're using stripes, it's rather easy. All right. Keeping in mind that your stripes still need to be lined up, and they should be if we've done everything right. All right. So this zipper is going to open this side in, or technically out, but we're working with it in right now. So what we want to do is honor our 1/2 inch seam allowance, which we've got up here. That's great. So we're going to start on the side that's lower down on our seam allowance right here. It just so happens to be the side that's closer to me. So we're going to line that up very close to the edge right there. And we're going to put a pin in that for now. We won't be leaving the pins in when we start. All right. I'm going to open that up now that we've figured out what side it is. And we're going to, you can continue to pin if you'd like. What you want to do is make sure that the edge of your zipper here, which the zipper foot's going to fold over, so it's actually looking like that, kind of curled. There we go. You want that to be at your 1/2 inch mark, because that is exactly the seam, and it's going to open up and nobody will see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all of this in place. I'm going to come over here, see if I can't figure this out for you. All right. So as you can see, we've got our right side right here, the inside. When it's sewn up, our zipper is going to look like, well, it's actually going to be completely hidden, but you can see what I mean with the teeth. All right, so we want that groove right here, this that I'm pulling over with my finger right there, that one. We want that to be in the well, both sides of the foot have their own guide, but we want that to be in what I'm calling the far side, the side that's off the machine, not the side that's closer to the machine. We want that to sit right in that groove that's on the far side, so that the needle that comes down is going to stitch right in this valley right here. It's going to pull that zipper over and it's going to stitch in that valley. So we're going to start a little bit further on to our material here, like that. That's definitely in there, and I'm going to remove my pin because you can usually sew over pins, but not with invisible zipper feet. Now I'm just going to get this started. Please excuse my hands. Stitch length centered. Yes, everything's good. Good. Okay, ready to go. There we go. And you see how that just caught it and it's starting to pull it over? Well, make sure that you're straight, that you've got your seam allowance where it should be, and that you're ready to go. Okay, if you want, you can back tack it a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Okay. And now that will just do the work for you. We're going to go all the way down. Okay, as far as we can possibly go. And then back tack. All right. That's one side done for now. Okay, now just to check, because it's a good idea, make sure you use your zipper after each pass. Good. We don't want any catches. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right. So we've got it pinned. We want to make sure nothing's twisted, and nothing is twisted, so we're happy. And we just want to turn our fabric around a little bit so that we can get this where we need it to be. There we are. Pull our thread tails back. Okay. And now you may not have a needle plate with guides on both sides like I do. If not, just measure and put a piece of masking tape along here. When I was learning, I had a piece of masking tape that would run over top of my little junk drawer right here, and I'd cut it so that it would always be in place, and I would move it. But now I'm pretty good at keeping it straight along when I'm going through my machine, so you may need that as a help guide. All right, so here we go. We want this one in the close side of the invisible zipper foot groove underneath here. Like we discussed before, there's 2 grooves. We want it in the closest side. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that we're all aligned good there, and we're just gonna set that down. And now carefully, because I've got it set in place, we're going to remove the pin, and we are going to sew a couple stitches. Ooh, peeking up our thread tails. There we go, we got her. All right, I'm gonna back tack a bit. There, okay. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing, keeping it within our seam allowance that we've allotted, nice and straight, stitching in that groove there, all the way to as far as we possibly can at the end before we hit our little zipper tail, and then back stitch, and you're done, this portion. All right, here we go. All right, to finish the seam with, or seams both sides, if you're only doing one, then only do one, but both sides with the invisible zipper, we need to finish the ends. The ends are still open. Look at that, open. Oh no. All right, so what we're going to do about that is we're going to pick an arbitrary length down from the zipper. I don't know, a couple inches, doesn't matter. You're going to make sure that you're on the correct seam allowance, which is a 1/2 inch on this pattern. You're going to make sure that your lines are nicely lined up there. There we go. And yeah, a couple inches, I don't know, right about there. We'll go right about there. All right, so here's my zipper, and here's actually where it's, oh, we'll just put that up there. Here's where it's actually together. Now what you're gonna want to do is take a pin with a bright or just contrasting color from your fabric. Since I'm so dark, it's always the bright colors. Okay, whatever. Find your hairs. Find your stopping point. For me, it's right there. And you're going to pin that location. There we go. I personally try and catch both sides of that so that I can fold it over and pin it so that it's hid away. And then when I go to, you can barely see here, I'll try and, there we go. If I hold that up like that, there. Yeah, so I try and pin that away so that I can see my seam right there. And hold that away as well. That can kind of help sometimes if you hold this away when it gets going. But we'll just get a little closer so you can see what's going on. Where's our thread tails? Where's our thread? There we go. Okay. All right. So you can really see what's going on now. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. Okay. We're going to hold this back. And we're going to go to our pin right there. Oh, crap. That's okay. You know what? I'm going to teach you something. Don't come all the way out of your fabric. If you ever want to move your presser foot and it happens to be a zipper foot, you might just be in luck. We're just going to move that to the other side there. There we go. Isn't that handy? Quite. All right, put it down. Oh my. Little tips and tricks there. I'm going to try and keep this hand out of your view as much as possible without smashing my thumb on the needle bar. All right, and let's continue. I'm going to move my needle over a bit. Let's see here. Nope. Yes. Okay, that's as far as it goes. All right. There. Let's come up. That might not be perfect. Might have just to trip that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? That's so bloody close. I think it's within a millimeter. Half a millimeter. Oh, yeah. Nothing a little iron can't take care of. A little bit of a pressing. That's right. What the sewing machine can't do, we will just subdue with heat. Okay. Now I've repositioned my camera. It's always good to test your zippers at every point, you know, like if you're ever worried, just, you know, like zip it, unzip it, zip it again. There we go. So that's the length of our invisible zipper now. And we have the point at which we started our seam, and our seam's there, and we do up our zipper. And once we press this, it'll fall seamlessly. It'll just fall beautifully, and you won't even know that there's a zipper there.